Hey there, good morning. Welcome to the JeepSolid garage. So today I'm going to cover how to find top dead center on your engine. There's various reasons why you might have to do that, and actually get a lot of questions about how do you find top dead center. So I thought I'd cover that real quick. It's fairly easy. The reasons you might need to find top dead center: you're replacing the timing chain on your vehicle or the distributor, and what top dead center is on cylinder number 1. So you want cylinder number 1 at the very top of its throw. That's top dead center, and we want top dead center on the compression stroke. So on a 4-stroke engine like this, you have a compression stroke and an exhaust stroke. We want top dead center on the compression stroke. So let's get to it. Now I already disconnected the negative terminal, the negative battery cable here, because we are going to be turning the engine over by hand and we don't want it to kick over on its own, and because it could injure us. Disconnect your battery. Then step number 2, I've already pulled the boot. Here's the boot. I already pulled the boot off of spark plug number 1. We're going to take a little bit of compressed air. And you just want to clean out the spark plug recess before you take your spark plug out. And the reason you want to spray it out with a little compressed air is this is a nice little trap for dirt and debris and rocks. You just want to make sure that nothing falls down inside of your engine while you're taking the spark plug out. And this video is sponsored by Engine Tech. This is my 1992 Jeep Wrangler YJ with the inline 6 that I did a complete engine rebuild on using Engine Tech parts. They have a master rebuild kit that I used on it that had everything I needed in it. New camshaft, bearings, all the gaskets, plugs. Their website's linked in the description below, so be sure to check out Engine Tech's website. Super happy with how this turned out. Having one of these flexible, extendable socket wrenches, these are super handy when you're doing stuff like this, because you need to get in there just a little bit of a funny angle, so that really helps. So we're going to get a 3/4 inch socket down here on the vibration damper, and we're going to turn this over by hand, and I'm going to plug the hole here on cylinder 1, and I'm going to feel for air to be pushed out, because I want compression stroke, right? So when the piston's coming up, if the valves are open, it's just going to let air go out the valves. That's the exhaust stroke. When the piston's coming up and those valves are closed, it's going to build up pressure, and you're going to feel that trying to push out of the spark plug hole. That's what we want to feel. That's our compression stroke. Oops, and it makes it a little bit easier to take it out of gear. All right, there we go, much easier. And what I'm turning is that center bolt right in the middle of the vibration damper down there, and that attaches into the front of the crank, so that's what's turning the engine over. And when I'm doing that with my finger plugged into the hole here, I can feel it kind of suck in on my finger. I feel it sucking my finger in, so the piston's going down. And if I keep turning now, it's starting to create pressure. It's starting to blow. I can feel it blowing my finger out. So I know that the piston is coming up, and the piston's coming up, the valves are closed. So this is our compression cycle, our compression stroke. And another way that I can check that the piston is on its upward stroke, I have a little wooden dowel here. I actually think this is an old Easter decoration, but I've kept it because I've used it a few times checking my piston travel, because it fits in there real nice. So I can tap the top of the piston there, and I can, as I turn it, I can see that it's coming up. And I should mention that we're turning the vibration damper there, we're turning the crank clockwise. And right at the top there in the center of the screen, there's a little notch on the edge of that vibration damper, and we're going to watch that to come around to our timing marks on the other side. So we've got our scale right there. You can see at the bottom there's a 0 with a line. We want that timing mark to line right up with that 0. So we're going to turn it just a little bit more here, and I will show you how to double check that we are at top dead center. So we're going to get that mark right over to the 0, and there we are. And yeah, I recently had a comment on one of my videos. The one reason I appreciate making these videos is just like helping people out, sharing my experience, and honestly giving them confidence to do stuff themselves, because it's really not that hard. One guy just commented on one of my videos. He said he was getting kind of intimidated by this project, but then he watched my video all the way through and he's like, I think I can do that. And it's like, yeah, I think you can too. If you just look at it one step at a time, some of these projects that seem like really big projects, and yeah, you can run into obstacles and problems, but you know, if you overcome those, you can do most any project. Like, I am not a professional mechanic by any means, but if I can do it, you can do it. And there we go. So now that notch is lined right up with the 0 mark there. I actually put a little bit of fingernail polish. I used my daughter's fingernail polish and just made the mark, that little notch, a little bit easier to see. That just helps me get it lined up. Now let's double check, and we should be able to touch the top of the piston. Yep, top of the piston is right there. But let's double check with the distributor. We've got spark plug wire number 1 right here. We're gonna pop the distributor off real quick, and with any luck, the rotor on the distributor should be pointing down at like the 530 position. I actually have a mark on there from when I did my engine rebuild. We'll see if the rotor's pointing right at that exact same spot. And yes, that's just perfect. So standing on the side here, the rotor's at about 530 or so. You can kind of see my purple mark there. When I did my engine rebuild, that's where the rotor was lined up when I was top dead center. So let's put this all back together real quick. And yeah, this is my 92 YJ, and I'm actually in the process of doing some body work on it, and I'm getting ready to paint it, which I'm super excited about. I have my compressor that I'm installing. I have to wire 240 over to that to install my compressor, and then I can sand it properly and properly have an air gun for painting. But anyways, exciting stuff coming on this Jeep. The engine obviously is in great shape right now, runs beautifully. Let's get this all back together. We'll start it up here. There we go, it took a little bit. Must have not had fuel to it yet. It's been sitting for quite a while, so it must have not had any fuel pressure. I did click the pump on a few times, but I think we'll start it up here again just so you can see how it fires right up. There you go. Sounds really good though. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this project's coming along. Engine is in great shape now. New radiator, getting ready for body work and paint. Excited about that. So be sure to subscribe to follow along with the process as we continue with this rebuild on this 92 YJ. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a good day.